All right, guys, so welcome to Ambition Academy, and it is our very first call for the month. It is May 8th, and we are pumped to have you guys here. This is really our passion, is helping new coaches get started right and to really help get momentum going right out of the get-go. You know, there's nothing better than really just kind of getting the wheels going. That'll really increase your confidence and just get you to believe that, yes, you know what, I can do this business. So thanks for being on. Tonight's call topic is going to be all about how you can hit the ground running right out of the gate as a brand new coach. So I wanted to spend just a couple of minutes introducing myself, letting you know who I am. I know I've joined forces with Dana and with Laura, so there's a lot of new coaches on here, and you probably don't know who the heck I am or anything about me. So my name's Kathy, and I've been doing this now for 4 years. This is a full-time career for me. Before I got started into coaching, I actually was an elementary school teacher for almost 10 years, had my master's degree in special education, but I always knew that once I became a mom, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I had Landon, who is now 5, and I had him back in June 14th, almost 6 years ago now, and I handed in my paperwork, and I said, that's it, I'm gonna be a stay-at-home mom. And 18 months after that, I had my daughter, Kirsten. And, you know, we knew that things were going to be tight, guys, when I stopped teaching, because I was earning a really good amount of money. I was earning about $70,000 a year teaching. And even though my husband had a great job, like still that's a huge amount of income to all of a sudden just stop earning. But that was my dream, was to always be home with the kids. And it's not everybody's dream, and there's no right or wrong answer. You always just have to do what's in your heart. And that is what was always in my heart, was that when I became a mom, I wanted to be with them all the time. So things got really tight, guys, and we ended up being completely financially screwed, to be completely honest. I actually was doing everything I could to make ends meet. Even though I was home with the kids, I was tutoring other children at their homes most nights during the week. And my husband was working his full-time job, plus he was doing like 4 or 5 other businesses on the side. And it just wasn't cutting it. We had, at this point, you know, almost 2 years of me staying home with the kids, had completely depleted our entire savings account, and we had about $35,000 racked up on our credit cards, and we were sinking by like $1,000 every single month. And that was where I was at the crossroads, where I was going to have to leave them and go back to my teaching career. Really didn't think that there was a way out of it, guys. Like, all I knew was my degree with teaching, and you're supposed to go to school and get a degree and work this job and do it till you retire. And it's funny because things just come into your life at the right reason, just like you guys had this opportunity come into your life, and you happen to have the courage to say yes to it. And it was that weekend I was out with my best friend from high school. His name was Matt, and his girlfriend, and she told me all about coaching. And I'm like, yes, sign me up, because I love teams, and I've always been a part of teams and sports and track and basketball and all that stuff. So I was really quick to jump on board until my husband was the skeptic and said, this is never going to amount to anything. This is a total scam. It's a total pyramid scheme. Like, you might as well just go to a casino and throw your money out the door, because this is not a business. Like, I don't care what anybody says. This is not a business. And he has his MBA in entrepreneurship. So I kind of listened to him for a little bit, a good 3 months. And then we finally came to agreement that, you know what, this is my last hurrah. And if anything fails, then at least I can say I tried my best, and then I'd have to go back to teaching. But I came into this, guys, most people don't come into it like this gun-ho and balls to the wall, like back against the wall. But I came into this right out of the gates, almost 4 years ago now, to build a business. Like, I meant serious business with this. I didn't have time to just test the waters and, you know, tip one toe in and be like, oh, I hope this works out for me and my family. You know, I went all in with this business right from the beginning. And you'll hear people, and you'll hear me and your leaders, you know, say to you guys, you know, treat this like a business, and it will reward you like a business. Treat it like a hobby, and it will reward you in ways that a hobby would reward you. And that always stuck to me. That always stuck to me, because I feel like a lot of times when people get into this business, it's such a small investment, right? Like, what did you guys pay, $160 for the Beachbody On Demand All Access Pass or something in Shakeology? Like, so cheap. in your mind, that's nothing. Like, that's really nothing. So the idea of kind of showing up every day isn't that important to you necessarily at the beginning if you don't have a strong purpose for being here, because the cost was so low. Whereas if you took out a $500,000 loan to run a restaurant or whatever it is that you want to do, like, you better believe you would show up every single day, right? When you, because you just took out this $500,000 loan. But if you can just get in your mind right now that that small investment that you took, that $160 that you paid, could literally turn into a 6 or 7 figure business down the road for you. If all you had to do was show up and keep the vision and do what we told you to do and keep the faith and keep the excitement and just ride the wave and ride the roller coaster, wouldn't you stick with it? And so I just remember my leaders saying that to me. Treat this like a business, it will reward you like a business. Show up when you don't want to show up. That's when you're going to see the significant growth. And so I get into this, guys, and I treated it just like that, and I loved it so much. That was the thing. I didn't think I would ever see myself doing this, but I loved it so, so much. I loved everything the company stood for. I loved that nothing was quick fixes or gimmicks. It was all real things, real programs, real nutrition, a personal coach, support and accountability groups, like a business that I could build from home. Like, how cool is that? You can do it from anywhere, all from this little phone of mine, right? And I just fell totally in love with it. And honestly, even to this day, guys, 4 years in, I still work the business every single night. And I literally have to pull myself away from the computer at like midnight to go to sleep. And it's only because my kids will wake me up at 5:30 in the morning. If I could, I'd work even longer. That's how much I love it. So I dove in and I took it seriously like that. It wasn't just test the waters type of deal. I listened and did everything that people told me to do. I didn't spend my time sitting behind the scenes, guys, and like getting everything all perfect. I had no idea how to even use the Coach Online Office for the longest time. I became a diamond coach before I even knew how to log in really to the Coach Online Office, okay? Because I was just out there talking to people. And I think if you can just put it in your mind that this is all about just you building relationships and that this is not going to be perfect, you're not going to know it all, you're not going to be perfect, expect to fall on your face, expect to fail, and it's okay. If you get that in your mind ahead of time before you get going, then you know that every time life throws you a curveball, you're just going to get back up and keep going. Because really the only way to fail in this business is if you either do nothing or you let life get in the way and you stop showing up. That's the only way to fail, or if you quit. That's it. But if you can just choose to be all in, right? Like, that's what I said to myself when I got into this business. Like, there is no plan B. I don't care if it kills me. I am not leaving my kids and going back to work. It is not an option for me. And if you can kind of treat it like that and show up every day, you will be seriously blown away. You know, I did that, guys, and by 7 months in of the business of me, really, like, you know, I won't candy coat things. I mean, I was going balls to the wall with this business. I mean, when you hear people say, like, let's talk about doing this for like a half an hour here or an hour a day here, I mean, I had to make this work, right? So it really depends on how desperate you are for this to work and how fast you want it to work. I had to make this work, or otherwise I was going to have to go back to teaching. And so I would work like 3 hours a night. That's what I started out doing, like 2.5 hours a night. And then I increased it to like up to 3 or 4. And by 7 months in, because I was doing that and I was helping so many people and just talking to people, I wasn't, you know, I was being a sponge. I was listening to these trainings, but then I wasn't just like keeping all this information in and taking tons of notes and then closing it up and going to bed after it. I was applying it. So everything that you learn, whether it's a personal development clip that you listen to, or something from a book, or from this training, or from a team call, or something you see in the team page, or something in Ambition Academy, like, write it down, something that sticks out to you, and then apply it to your business. And it was at the 7-month mark what I was earning with teaching, I was earning with coaching. And then in under a year, we were 6-figure earners. And it was not because I was a special unicorn or did anything fancy or anything. It was just, I was all about helping all the people. That's it. So if you can care and be authentic and genuinely want to help other people and not expecting anything in return, like, you will be blown away with where this can take you. You know, now we're living in Florida here. We just moved down 10 months ago from Massachusetts. It was on my dream board. And like, it's crazy. We were literally sitting out last night, my husband and I, we were on a date night, like out on the beach. And he like literally looked all around and was like, this is so crazy that you actually like dreamed about all this. Like you actually envisioned all this and now we're living it for real right now. And you guys can do the exact same thing for you and for your future and your family. So I wanted to kind of start out this call by just telling you guys and giving you permission to allow yourself to really think big. Don't play small. Really allow yourself to dream. I want you guys all to, at some point, like tonight or tomorrow, maybe not tonight, but tomorrow or whenever you feel like excited to do it, really sit down and I want you to write out how you would be living your life, what that would feel like for you if in 5 years from now, in 3 to 5 years from now, let's just say that to, play it safe, if in 3 to 5 years from now, you could be living your life like however you wanted to live it, with no financial restrictions, with, time was not a concern, money was not a concern. Literally, how would that life look for you? And sit down and really draft it up. Like, be extremely specific with the life that you see yourself living 3 to 5 years from now. For me, when I first started, it was, I wanted to be home with the kids every day. Like, I envisioned myself and wrote about me being able to drop the kids off to school, me being able to pick the kids up from school, me being able to volunteer and go on field trips when I wanted to go on field trips, me being able to give back to my 70-year-old parents. That was a big part of my why, was I wanted to be able to give back to my parents and take them on vacations with us and send them away on vacations. I wrote about how, one day I'm going to have a house by the beach. Like, I literally wrote about this. I'm going to have an in-ground pool. I mean, these things that I have now and the life that we're living now is literally everything that I wrote about. And you need to do it. You have to write it all out, guys. And there's no right or wrong answer, because this is your life and this is your dream and this is your future. And the only way that you are going to be able to go out there and actually make that happen is if you create it. So you have the vision, you have to write about it. And then not only that, but I want you guys to then read it to yourself every single morning and every single night before you go to bed. When you do that, you train your subconscious to automatically put your body into motion, to do the right actions every single day. That's going to gradually get you there. Like, these things will just happen because they become a part of you, because now you're saying it, so you're believing it. So it can't just be like kind of all up in your mind, like, oh, I'd love to be able to pay off all this debt, or oh, I'd love to be completely financially free and never have to worry about income at all anymore. Like, that would be so awesome. You have to have like specific things written down. Like, why is it important for you to be financially free? Like, really dig deep. Like, everything that you write down, just ask yourself, but why? Like, why is that important to me? What could that do for my family? Why is it important that happens? And so I want you to start there by having that vision. And I want you to then go and I want you to make a vision board. I want you to take, it can be on anything. It could be a poster board. It could be just in a notebook. It could be also like on your screensaver. I did that too. I did it on screensaver. I have it on the back of my phone, on my wallpaper, my goals and things like that I want to happen. I see. So you're constantly seeing them is the point. You need to be seeing them so that you're believing in them. Because when the times get tough and life, gets in the way, if you don't really have anything pushing you, it's going to be very easy to just stop and give up and be like, this coaching thing just isn't for me, right? But if you have a really strong purpose for being here, it doesn't really matter what the hell happens. You're going to be like, I am here for life. There's a purpose for me being here. I am going to go out and create the best life possible for me and for my family. I know I'm capable of doing it. And write that down. Like, I need you to start to think like that. Don't hear stories like this from me or the top 10 coaches in the company and see where they're at and think for a second that you can't do that. Don't put them up on a pedestal and be like, oh gosh, they're so lucky. Like, they must have had a huge network, or they must just be awesome at social media, because that's just a bunch of baloney, right? The people who are where they are, they put in their mindset from day one that is awesome what those people are doing. If they can do it, then I can do it, because they're no different than me. So let's go, right? They kind of flipped it around that way, and they thought in a more positive light instead of feeling insecure and on themselves. So you kind of have to get that faith, guys, and get that belief before you even get going. I'm not going to lie. 95%, 98% of your success in this business, at the end of the day, it's going to boil down to your belief in yourself and what you're capable of doing. And obviously you have to follow it up with daily action, right? It can't just be belief. I mean, you could sit around on your couch all day long and I believe this is going to change my life, but then not actually be doing anything to build a business and nothing's going to happen. But if you have that belief and act as though you're already there even though you're not, right? And that you're already this successful coach and you have that excitement, people are going to be drawn from you. So start there with those couple things. Drafting up your future, working on your vision board, every single thing, every single way that you'd like to live life, just write about it. Put it on the board, say it to yourself every day, and then get the belief right from the beginning, because you guys can all do this. And it's incredible now that I've been doing this for 4 years to really see the coaches on the team who come on, how when some of them come on and they're really, nervous. Obviously you're nervous. It's something brand new. You're scared. You have a lot of fear. And it's incredible to really watch the people when the light goes on upstairs and the belief all of a sudden kicks in, just the shift that they see in their momentum in the business and in themselves with their confidence. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So start with that. And then I want you to go all in with the basics. You're going to hear us talk about in the Ambition Academy, you're going to be hearing us talk about the vital behaviors. And here's the thing, this business, guys, I'm not even going to lie about this. It is so simple. The business is really, really simple. It's the best business in the world. You can literally just take this phone, okay? You can, anywhere you have Wi-Fi, even if you're traveling on a road trip, you can connect to a hotspot, and you can literally build your business on this from anywhere in the world. You can do it in the car while you're waiting to pick up your kids from school. You can do it outside on your patio. You can do it, while you're going for a walk. You can do it anywhere. I mean, it's crazy to think what this little thing can do for you in your life, right? And it all boils down to you being consistent with the vital behaviors, all right? And you're going to hear us discuss these in full detail in Ambition Academy, but I'll go over them really quickly for you. Be a product of the product. Invite, personal development, and recognition. And so you're going to hear me kind of go through these really briefly right now, and you're going to see, like, that's it. Like, that's how I build my business. And yes, that is 150% how you build your business. And the only thing that gets in your way, the only reason why this business is hard, the hard part about it is having the self-discipline to show up. That's all it is. The activities to build a business are simple. The business in general is simple. You don't have to worry about shipping. You don't have to worry about getting things out to people or dealing with customer service or any of that stuff. Like, everything is done all for you, but you just have to be willing to show up. Like, the power of showing up is all of it. It really is all of it. And like, that's why you guys who are on this call right now, I mean, that's one example. You're showing up. The people who are on these calls, I'm telling you, I've watched it happen. We run these once a month. I've been doing this now for 4 years. Is the people who I see on these calls, this one, next week, and the end, the third call, they go on to build incredible businesses. They go on to build incredible businesses. And in a couple of years down the road, they end up being able to retire from their teaching career and do this full time, right? They're able to stop their other job and be home with their kids because of this opportunity. They might go through a divorce and the husband leaves, and they can actually live in their home and support their family and pay the mortgage because of this. But it takes you just being consistent with the showing up. So being a product of the product, guys, is really important, because it doesn't mean that you are perfect. It doesn't mean that you are at your health and fitness goals and that your ideal image or feel the best way about yourself that you want to feel, when you really envision how you see yourself. It just means that you're actually making progress. You're showing up and you're doing it. You're drinking your shake every single day. You're pressing play every day. You're following a nutrition plan. It's not going to be perfect, guys. Like, life is going to get in the way. Things are going to derail you and throw you off. And you're just going to do the best that you can. Right? You're just going to keep standing up and keep going, one foot in front of the other. So that's a really simple one to do, because that gives you belief in what we're promoting. It gives you belief in the programs. It gives you belief in the products. And it's really hard for you to get belief in those things if you're inconsistent with doing them. It'd be really hard for you to inspire and get somebody else excited to do this with you if you really weren't doing it yourself. And that's why a lot of the most successful people who I've seen come onto the teams over time are actually people who have been using the programs and the products for a long time. They've seen results. It's not that you can't make it work without it. Trust me, I've had plenty of people like that too. But what I'm saying is the people who have already done the programs and have stuck with them and have seen awesome results, they go on to make the best coaches because they already have that belief there in the programs and the products. They're already like walking infomercials for Beachbody because they believe in it so much, right? So you have to get that belief. You have to get to the point where you think this person needs this in their life. And I'll never forget, like when I first started this, I had done P90X, the original one. It was so long. It was like hour-long workouts. I'll never forget the yoga session was like ridiculously long. And Nick and I, my husband and I, had done it like 10 years ago. And it got us into the best shape of our lives back then. And then when I got into this about 4 years ago, it was after I had my daughter, and she was like 4 months old at the time. I had like 30 pounds to lose, right? And I just could not get rid of it. And I started with the 21-day fix. And I started drinking Shakeology, which I had a horrible experience with Shakeology in the past. I hated it. So I didn't have high hopes for this. And I just didn't have a good recipe. I had a crappy coach that didn't help me. So like I tried it like with water and it just tasted like crap. So I tried it again when I started this 4 years ago. Found an awesome recipe. I've been drinking the same one, like literally the same recipe every day for 4 years. And I started doing the 21-day fix and I bring my daughter down. Like it was crazy, guys. I mean, it was a shit show, right? But we just did it. My son would go down for a nap. He was 22 months old. My daughter was like 5 months old. I'd put her in her little bouncy cedar swing. I'd press play and do my workout, totally sleep deprived because I was nursing all night long. But I just had this vision, and I just wanted to change my life so bad. I was so determined. And over time, I started to see my body completely bounce back, and I was in better shape after going through 3 rounds of the 21-day fix than I was before I even had kids. And so my belief in that program and in Shakeology was so strong that I literally, every single mother, I was like, you need this in your life. Like, this is going to change your life. I totally have the solution. You just have to trust me on this. Give me 30 days. You're going to love the way you feel. You're going to love the results. You're going to be hooked forever. I mean, you have to have that kind of confidence and belief in what you're talking about. So my whole point of that long rant is just make sure that you have a recipe that you love for Shakeology, like that you really, really love, that you want like 2 shakes a day, right? And that you are following a program, all right? And that you're in a challenge group for it. And if you need help with any of those things, just reach out to me or your upline coach and we will help you, okay? So that's being a product of the product. Inviting, guys, this is just all you. And again, I'm gonna share with you guys messages and scripts. And I mean, we couldn't make it any easier. We literally have everything so laid out for a brand new coach to come onto the team and have success with this. It's like impossible, I feel like, to fail unless you just are like, forget it, I'm not gonna do anything. But I mean, everything is so laid out. I mean, we literally walk you through exactly how to talk to people, how to invite them to our challenge groups, what to say when they come up with objections of price. I mean, straight through to the sign up, all right? So when I talk about inviting, this is just you every single day, getting out there, getting out of your comfort zone, guys. Just this part of being a coach, and not even just a coach. It's part of owning your own business. You guys are all entrepreneurs now, all right? And entrepreneurs are people who are willing to do things that the average person isn't willing to do so that they can go on and live a life that most people wish that they could. And it was all because they chose to get uncomfortable and do these things that most people and the average person won't do. That's what you guys are, right? So you have to be okay with coming out of your comfort zone and doing things that scare you. And I know you probably don't want to hear that, but it's true. I always tell my team, like, if you aren't doing anything right now that makes you feel like you're going to throw up, then you are definitely living way in your comfort zone, because every day should be something that makes you feel like nervous. Like whether it's, I don't know if I should put that post up, just hit send, or I don't really know if I should reach out to this person. I'm really nervous. And then you reach out to the person, or maybe you do a live video, or whatever it is for you. It's different for everybody depending on like the type of person that you are, but you need to get used to pushing yourself out of the comfort zone because that's how you grow. That's how you grow. And trust me, guys, I know that this is not easy to do. Trust me, I was the person, I mean, never would have seen myself doing stuff like this. A call like this, forget it. Never in a million years. I mean, I never liked raising my hand in class to even ask a question. I was very, very shy, very worried about what other people were going to think about me. I just want everybody to like me. Like, let's walk on eggshells and just whatever. Just kind of just there. Wasn't never a leader, wasn't a follower, but I was just kind of like there. You know what I mean? So for me to kind of come out of my comfort zone, that was hard, right? But the more you practice this, then the more excited you get about it, because then you see growth in yourself as a person and then growth in your business. So get out there and talk to people every day. You know, let them know about what you're doing. Invite them to be a part of our next support and accountability group. I mean, this is stuff that you should be doing from the first week as a brand new coach. You don't need to wait until you become an Emerald coach or until you go through all the training. Right from the beginning, you should be talking to people and letting them know how excited you are about this and that you want them to do this with you. The night I signed up to become a coach, I stood in my living room, and it was so late. It was like 10:30 at night, because I just signed up. I was on the phone with my coach, I signed up, and then all of a sudden the swarm of emails came through of all the information, right? And then I'm added to all these different groups. And instantly I just like stood up, and I just remember looking at the wall being like, I seriously do not think I am smart enough to do this. That thought kind of crossed my mind for a second. Like, what is this? Like all these crazy terminology and words. And my coach has said, just kind of lay low this month, you know, just don't expect much to happen. And I just remember hanging up the phone being like, I can't afford to just sit here and lay low and wait for nothing to happen this month. Like, I need to start making it happen now. Or like that dream of being home with my kids is bye, out the window. And I just remember the night I signed up, okay, I remember I was 35 pounds overweight, completely sleep deprived. My package obviously did not come in because I had just ordered. I did not even know what a challenge group was, guys. I just remember hearing people say, and my coach say, I'm going to put you in my challenge group and you're going to invite people to challenge group. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what the heck it was. And I sat down on my computer and I was like, it's go time, baby. And I messaged like they were all my friends, so they knew who I was. And I just shared my excitement with them. Hey, like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You know, I just became a coach and I'm really looking to lose these 30 pounds. I'm so pumped up. I'm going to be running this support and accountability group. I'm going to be running this challenge group, and I'm looking for people who want to do it with me. Like, I really need to get rid of this baby weight. Do you want to do it with me? Like, it was like seriously like that. And I had like 8 people in 2 weeks sign up to do it with me. And I had this challenge group that I had to run, and I had no idea how to run a challenge group. And all of a sudden I had 8 people, and my coach didn't have one that she was running. So I just, on my own, I had no idea what I was doing. But that's part of being an entrepreneur, right? Is being a self-starter and being willing to go out and research and figure out these things on your own. And I just created a group, and I put up a cover photo, and every day I threw motivation in the group. I had no idea what I was doing. And after doing this for like 5 months, or 6 months of running sometimes 3 groups a month, I mean, people were coming in like crazy because I was so excited. And that's what people are going to be drawn to, is your excitement. If you don't have that, then it's just hard to bring people in. You have to get excited. And I was running like 3 groups a month, and it was like 6 months went by. And then somebody finally told me about how they have templates in the Coach Online office, and you can actually, remember I said at the beginning of this call, I never even navigated the Coach Online office. I was too busy connecting with people and getting people signed up. So I found out 6 months later, there's a coach tab in there that actually gives you exactly what to post every day in your challenge groups with a picture and everything. And I was like, oh man, that would have made life so much easier for me. But my point is that you want to start taking action right from the beginning. And that should be your goal right now. Right now, as you know, your first month as a coach, I mean, I'll be honest, guys. I mean, becoming an Emerald coach, it should be no longer than a week. Like, and honestly, I feel like that's even giving you extra time. I really feel like you could do it by like the end of the night, because everybody knows 2 people who need help with their health and fitness journey. Like everybody knows 2 people. Maybe it's your husband who wants to do this with you and your sister. Maybe it's a friend that you work with and your mom. Maybe it's a coworker and a neighbor. I mean, we all know 2 people. If you sit down right now and you make out a list, you're going to be blown away with how many people you already know who you could think about and think, you know what, I bet you this person would need help with this. This person, you know, could definitely use this in their life. I'm going to reach out to them. And you should be connecting with these people every day, just letting them know what you're doing and inviting them to it, to learn more about it. That's it. Don't overthink it. Don't word vomit all over the place. I'm talking like 1 to 2 sentences at the most. And, you know, that's it. And again, we share all of our messages with you guys. I will give you word for word, and you can tweak it to make it your own. You can use it as is. We can walk you through the whole conversation. I do that with a lot of my coaches where they'll reach out and they will talk to somebody, and then they'll come back to me and say, okay, now this person said this. How should I respond to it? And I'll tell them how I respond to it. And we'll go all the way through the conversation straight up until they send them the link to get them signed up so that they're actually in the system as a coach or customer. And then after doing that, you get the gist of it and you get the hang of it. And you can do it on your own, and you can tweak the wording and make it your own too. But don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Like, don't think that you need to be an island in this. You know, constantly be reaching out and asking questions. Comment or post on the team page, tag me in it, or whatever team page you're in, tag your upline coach and share your information that you need help with in there, and we can answer it for everybody to see. So that's inviting. Personal development, guys, is another thing. And this was another piece of the business that I kind of like skipped it for a while in my business because I just didn't think I needed it. I was like, I don't need personal development. I don't need to read a book. Like, I hate reading. This was me. I hate reading books. Like, I don't want to read books. I don't have time for books. I'm too busy talking to people and getting people signed up and getting them into my challenge groups. I am not going to read a book. Like, I have limited time. And that is the worst mistake you can make. Just take my word for it. Don't do it. Commit to doing like 15 to 20 minutes every single day. We recommend that you start with, what the heck is my book? There's 2 choices. We have the compound effect here, and you should get these. You should have both, actually. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. This one is my favorite. It's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And then there's another really, after you read one of these, you just got to write this on your list. Let me look at my phone real quick. There's another one that it's my second time reading it, but I was like, I need to tell the new coaches about this. Let me just pull it up. You can download Audible on your phone. I do that. I download Audible on my phone, and a lot of times I listen to the books when I'm driving in the car. I'm actually listening to 3 different things right now, depending on what I'm doing. I listen to something different when I do my workouts because I just follow along, and I listen to, you know, the personal development. I listen to a different one when I'm in the car, and then I also listen to things when I'm in the shower. I'm listening to it all over the place. So let me pull this up for you so you can write this down, because this is, I wish that I had read this book when I was a brand new coach. Let me see. It's called, okay. It's called Get Over Your Damn Self, the No BS Blueprint to Building a Life-Changing Business. But the title of it really is Get Over Your Damn Self. I'll write it in the comments. It is straight up like a network marketing book. It is so helpful. She tells you how to exactly to talk to people, how to follow up with people, the things that you should be saying. I mean, it is so good. Okay, so it's called Get Over Your Damn Self. And that is by, make sure I have no typos in here like I usually do. Okay. I guess Romy is her name. Newstott or something. Anyways, you got to write that one down. So just pick up The Slight Edge. I like this one better, honestly, than The Compound Effect. It's really good. Or The Compound Effect, or read them both, and then get to reading Get Over Your Damn Self. It is so good. And just schedule it in of when you're going to be listening to it or reading it every day. That's the biggest thing here with getting in the vital behaviors that I just went over here that are going to build your business. And it's one thing that I wish that I had done when I first became a coach that no one told me about, was to get a calendar and a planner. And I am so unorganized, and I didn't know to even do that at the beginning. So I was like, don't ask me how I was keeping track of everything. But what I do is, like, I have this big, huge calendar. I have a desk calendar here. And this is, you want to do something like this. Whatever works for you. For me, this is where I sit to work all the time, so it's here. And I just simply write in when all my calls are with people, when the team calls are, when the Ambition Academy calls are, when different groups are going to be kicking off, like when we have our coach sneak peeks, like when our 2B Mindset Challenge group is going to be kicking off, different things like that. I fill it all in right away before the month even kicks off. And then what you should do is, this might change weekly for you, but this is so key, guys. You have to schedule business hours. Even if you're here for just a hobby, you have to schedule business time every day to work on this. Otherwise, it just doesn't happen. And you got to be strict with it. So on like Sunday night, just like look ahead at what your week is going to be like. And this isn't the type of business where you can just show up on weekends, or, you know what, I can't do anything Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I'm going to do a ton on Thursday and then I'll work some on Saturday. You won't build a business that way. I told you, I'll never candy coat anything. I want everybody who comes onto these teams to succeed. And the only way that you succeed is consistency over time. It's nothing big, huge, massive that you need to do just one time to make it work. It's little by little over time, showing up day after day, compounded over time. So look at your schedule and really say to yourself, all right, what's Monday going to be like? And schedule in when you can work on this. You know, we have a lot of, like on my team, on Team Forever Strong, we have a lot of full-time working moms with like 3 or 4 kids. And I always say, I mean, if they can do it, anyone can do it. So schedule in when will work for you. A lot of them they do like a half an hour midday, and then they do more at night after the kids go to bed. I have a lot of the coaches on the team, they wake up super early in the morning to get their workout in and get in some work for the business, and then they go to work and then they work more later. It really just depends on your time that you have available and how much you really want to dedicate to the business, depending on what your goals are, right? So if you're someone who is like me, whose back is up against the wall and you're in sheer desperation mode, you're going to be more inclined, obviously, to spend more than an hour a day on it. But if you're someone who totally loves your job and you don't mind working that job until you're 65 years old, and you know this is more of like a side thing for you, then the need is not going to be as much as it was for someone like me or someone who's totally desperate. You might do just 1 hour a day. And it's okay to break up the hour. It's whatever works for you. It's all about finding pockets of time where you can be really focused in on your business. So that is a huge tip that I never received as a new coach, is to get yourself your calendar, fill it all out, and get yourself a planner so you can have these things in here, because you don't want to miss calls like this. You don't want to miss the team calls once a week. You don't want to miss the important things that are happening, like coach sneak peeks that are going to be going on. That's how you build your team over time. But that will really help you organize you. And when the time comes for you to work on the business, all I have to say is, be really, really focused and do what's going to build your business. No scrolling Facebook, just have inside conversations with other coaches. Like, none of that builds your business. Like, if you only have 30 minutes in the morning to work on this, it should be spent adding new people to your network, building new relationships, and just saying like, hey, how's it going? Like, how was your day? I saw you went to Disney over the weekend. What was the kid's favorite ride? And then straight up inviting people to be doing this with you. It's going to be really, really focused. And when the time is over, guys, the time is done. You don't have to stress out and check your notifications on your phone 24/7. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do any of that. You just sit down and do your work, and when it's over, be like, all right, it's done. Until tomorrow, when my working hours are back up again. It'd be like if you were working at Starbucks, right? You'd have specific hours that you would have to clock in. You wouldn't be doing it 24/7, right? You'd be there like, you'd clock in and you'd do your 4-hour shift and you'd clock out and leave until tomorrow. It's the same thing with this business. Just keep treating it like a business. And let me see here. And the last vital behavior is, it's fairly new, about 6 or 7 months new. It's just recognition. This is basically you just giving tons of support to anybody who you help. Maybe it's a new challenger who joins your support group. Maybe you have a new coach on your team, shouting them out in the team page, shouting them out in your challenge group. Hey, I'm so excited. So-and-so is joining us. a new mom and she's looking to change her life around. She really wants this to be her full-time income, and I'm pumped to have her here. She's really determined and she's a driven person. She's going to do awesome. Like just little things like that to give people extra recognition. Or, you know, so proud of this girl right here for starting. She hasn't worked out in 5 years and she was really nervous, but she was ready to put her first. Let's all cheer her on. Like little things like that for people, whether they're customers or coaches. It goes a long way. And so before I let you go, I want you guys to have your goals for this month, no matter what, whether you are here for a hobby coach or a legit, I want to build a business coach. You all want to aim to hit what's called Success Club. If you're here for a hobby and you just want to maybe get your product covered, then I always tell those people, your goal should be to just help 3 people get started on their health and fitness journey and get them signed up. You will hit Success Club 5. The income and the commission that you earn from those people will totally cover your Shakeology, so it will be free for you. And even just a little bit extra will be left over that can go into your bank account or to be used for whatever you want it to be used for. Okay, those are for my hobby coaches. Now, for people who really want more out of life, and they don't want this to be a hobby, like they really want this to work, they really want to change their situation, then I want you to focus on helping at least 5 people every single month so that you can hit Success Club 10. And I don't want you guys to look at these numbers and think like that's as high as you can go, right? Like if you're someone, like we've had some like crazy rock star coaches come on, like all of a sudden they come out of nowhere and they're on the leaderboards and it's like SC20, second week of the month. They've already signed up 10 people in literally 2 weeks. If you're someone like that, or you're someone who even signs up 5 people in like 1 or 2 weeks, the first 1 or 2 weeks of the month, like keep going. And remember that we're here to try to help as many people as possible, and that literally 70% of America is considered overweight or obese. So our job is never ending. It's not about points on a board. It's not about, oh yes, I reached my benchmark of Success Club 5, I can stop now. It can never ever stop. There's always people out there that need our help. And that's why even for me, on the last day of the month, it doesn't matter if I'm at Success Club 10 or if I'm at whatever number I'm at, I won't wait. Like you'll hear people say like, oh, should I wait until the next month? I never wait. Don't ever wait, because just have a mindset of abundance that you're always going to be able to find and help enough people. And you will if you think that way, right? So I want you guys to write down like really what your goals are. And at the top of your notebook, this is what I did when I first started. I said, I will help 5 people this month. I will hit Success Club 10. I set small goals. Even though I had huge visions, I said, I will become an Emerald coach. These things. And just so you know, guys, when you heard all that this business has done for us, just so you know, I didn't come into this business with those goals in my mind at all. Like, no, I did not come in being like, I think it'd be awesome if I was a 6-figure income earner. No. I was like, let's just earn a couple $100 every week so I can keep ourselves afloat and I can keep staying home. I knew we would still be screwed financially, but that's all I wanted to do. It wasn't until I got into this where I really saw that, oh my God, I can do way more than this. Let's just go all the way then now, right? So your goals will change over time. As you stay in this business, they're going to be constantly changing. But write them down, and write them down with no wishy-washy words. Like write it down with confidence. I will become an Emerald by, and you have to tie a date to it. You can't just say like, I hope you become an Emerald, or I hope you become a Diamond, or whatever it is. I will become an Emerald coach on the morning of this Thursday, May 10th. I'm just using it as an example. You do you, do what works for you, and you're gonna have a date tied to it, because you need to have your goals and have dates aligned with it. And it doesn't matter if you meet them or not. You just keep putting a new date and you keep working towards it, and you'll eventually reach it, right? Same thing with hitting Success Club. I like to always give myself, even though I have 31 days this month to hit my goal, I don't like to give myself 31 days or the whole month to hit my goal, because I personally don't like scrambling at the end of the month. So I usually always give myself a mid-month goal. Like this month, it'll be the 17th of the month. So my goal is I will help at least 5 people get started on their journey and hit Success Club 10 by the 17th of the month. And again, everybody's goals are different. I don't want your goals to be my goals. Your goals shouldn't be your coach's goals. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like a friend on the team. You don't have to be like your upline coach or anybody else. You just have to do you, and your goals have to align with you, because if they don't, then it'll be really hard for you to actually achieve them and stay the course. So what I want us to do is, when I get off this call, I will post the recording in Ambition Academy. And I want you guys to comment below the post in the comments with when your deadline is to become an Emerald coach. And if you're already an Emerald coach, then I want you to look to the next rank, which would be Ruby or Diamond. Actually, most people just skip right over Ruby and go to Diamond. And I want you to write down what your next goal is for that with the date, and how many people you plan on helping this month, and by what date you want that to happen. If you want to use the whole month to do it, that's fine. There's no right or wrong way. I just know me personally, I can tend to be a procrastinator, and I work much better if I work better off of deadlines, which is why I like giving myself an earlier deadline. I like to kind of pretend that, all right, if my life depended on it, and I only had until the 17th of this month, you have to do this, make it happen. I just work better that way. So do what works for you. And I hope that you guys are all getting a ticket to go to the summit. You're probably going to hear your coaches talk about this too. And I'm just going to say, I mean, you have to go. Unless there's people who are having babies and who are getting married and that kind of stuff, obviously you can't go. But if you're kind of like, oh, I don't know what this is, you know, I'm kind of scared. Trust me, guys, this is a business, and you have to be willing to invest in you and invest in your future. And it's all tax deductible. You can all write it off. And it's the best event you'll ever go to. Like, I'm telling you, you guys are going to be seeing all the coaches on your team be sharing the fireworks and the workouts with the trainers and meet and greets with the trainers and these cool parties and these incredible people and everything. And you're going to be like, oh, I should have just sucked it up and gone, right? I'm telling you, it happens every single year. And I know it's nerve-wracking as a new coach to be like, I am not going to go to an event where I don't know anybody, because my first year as a coach, I had 3 other coaches on the team come, and that's exactly what they said. Like, oh my gosh, like people are going to think I'm crazy. I'm flying all the way out to go to this event and stay in a hotel with people I don't know. And you know what? Honestly, those people wouldn't be coaches to this day if they hadn't gone. I know they wouldn't have. I know they wouldn't have, because I know that if you could start out your business going to Summit, you'd never quit. You'd be foolish to even think about quitting. You just would. You have to get there to know what I mean, to feel the energy, and not just to feel the energy, but to really see how big this thing is and how it can dramatically change your life, because it's a big difference. You just sitting behind your computer every night working on this alone versus getting in it with 20 to 30,000 other coaches and hearing their stories and hearing how, you know, it changed their life and things for their family. It's a big, big difference. So sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do things that scare you, and know that when it's over and done with, you're going to be like, that was awesome. That was the best decision. You won't regret it. I've never had anybody come to Summit who has regretted it. They've all been like, oh my God, I'm so glad I went to that. I would have missed out on all of this. So reach out to your coach about that. We'll get you in, and it's going to be awesome. So does anybody have any questions about anything I went over tonight? No. Okay. Cool. Well, I'll get the recording up tonight in Ambition Academy, and then make sure that you guys spend some time just kind of drafting out your vision for your life. You know, this isn't a 2 or 3 month, let's try it out like business. This is life changing for you. And so I want you to really think about that and think long term. I want you to think, how could my life look 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road? Really dream big, get it all out there, and have that in front of you every single day and read it every single day, and you're going to be blown away, guys. So thanks for being here, and we are pumped to have you, and I'm excited to see you guys hit the ground running. If you need anything, feel free to always send me a message, and I'm an open book. I will always tell you exactly how it is. I will never candy coat. I want to help you guys get to where you want to be. So hope you have a great night, and I'll see you the next time. Bye, guys.